In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating a baby bang. I've already pre-cut one on this gal here. You can see it's short, it's piecey, it's really cute, especially on those short pixie cuts. I left a little bit of hair so that she could kind of play with it. It's called a little bit of disconnection here. And so she could kind of wear something to kind of hide it, or she could show her baby bang off. Let's get started and I'll show you how to do it. First thing to do to keep you on point with your cutting your baby bang is to make sure that you section off properly. Always find the apex first and then kind of come forward a little bit, right where the head starts to turn. That's where you want to work when you're working with cutting bangs. And you can kind of find it too by just combing the hair and seeing where it wants to fall. We're going to start at the top of the frontal bone and we're going to come all the way down to the recession on each side. I call these exit points. And the way to find them too is to come down to the recession and then look down at the brow. You don't want to go past the edge of the brow, otherwise you're going to be working into the hairline, okay? And we've done that on both sides of the head. It's always good to pre-dampen the hair, work with just damp hair, not super wet hair. You want to be able to see what's going on with the hair. Let the hair talk to you a little bit. See if it bounces, if it moves, what it's going to do. I'm going to turn it to the side so that you can see the angle I'm working with. We're going to be working with a traveling guide, and we're going to start our guide in the center, right at the nose. I'm going to use a regular shear. We're going to be working with a section straight up from the head, but I'm going to be working from at this angle, a slope of shorter to longer. Come down here, right here at the nose. You want to take enough of a section that you can see. So there's her nose, and then here we're going to move it so you can get a better view of my angle. I'm gonna come down here first, holding my fingers at the angle I want. That's gonna determine your angle is your fingers, because your scissors and comb are gonna mirror your fingers. But I'm gonna kind of come down here and decide how short do I want those baby bangs. And that's just gonna be your creativity and what you feel is gonna look best with your haircut. I'm gonna cut it so it's kind of right above her brow bone. So I'm gonna pull it straight up. My end of my fingers, I know when I drop this down where that hair is going to hit, and I'm going to pull it straight up, stop my tip of my finger here, and kind of angle. You see that angle? Okay. And then I'm going to mirror my fingers with my scissors and cut. Okay. You got to make sure with a baby bang like this that there's enough density, that the person has enough density on in their front part of the head to be able to handle it. Now I'm going to take another section. We're going to take a little bit of the guide that I just cut, enough that I can see. I'm going to pull it straight up. And I'm making sure that I can see my guide before I cut. Super important tip. I'm going to pull it up, mirror my fingers. My scissors are mirroring my fingers, or my fingers rather are mirroring the section, and then my comb then is mirroring my fingers. Those are all little tips to keep you on point to be successful in your hair cutting skills. Straight up. I can see my guide. And I'm going to cut. Now I'm just going to carry this on all the way through to the edge. If I wanted to have a little bit more of a rounded edge, then I would stop right at the top of the arch of the brow, and I would carry it over, and it would give more of a rounded edge. I'm just going to keep going because I want it to be a little bit more squared off. So where you're cutting, that hair is coming straight up from the head, from where it lives. My fingers, I can see my guide. I'm going to cut. And then we're going to go back to the other side. Redampen a little bit. here, take a little bit of the center guide, pull it straight up from where it lives, make sure I can see my guide, mirror my fingers with my guide, and I'm going to mirror my scissors with my fingers, and I'm going to cut. There again, I'm going to walk. I kind of call it walking, but you're just kind of following it down, or vertical sections like this. Pull it straight up from where it lives. I can see my guide. I'm going to mirror my fingers to the guide and mirror my scissors to my fingers. Those are all little things that help keep you on point in your hair cutting skills. Oh, you can't see through my sleeve, can you? Let me turn this a little bit. Open it up and cut it. Right here at the edge. Pull it up. Cutting. It looks like I had a little bit more of an angle here, so I'm going to go back. Follow it back. Cut that point. I was just a little bit more angled than I should have been. Always be checking it visually. I always check it visually in the mirror as I'm working, and I go into the front of the head too. See what's going on. Once you're finished drawing the fringe, this is where you want to fine tune it a little bit, okay? This is where your creativity comes in. I like to stand in front of the client and look at her. I like to turn her around and look at her in the mirror. I have a mirror over here that I can look at her from afar and see how it looks to the eye. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, you know, I want it just to be a little bit piecier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my comb and my scissors. I'm just going to insert my scissor underneath it. I'm not going to use any of my fingers in this one. Just set it inside the wide teeth of your comb, kind of pull it down, and then till it comes nice and smooth, and just go straight in. I'm just going straight in with my scissors so that I get a nice soft fringe. If you want it to be choppier, you're going to go more in at an angle. More angle. The more in that you go this way, the more you're going to see a real choppy line. The more you go straight in, the softer it's going to look. Here. And that is how you cut a baby bang successfully.